In the heart of glorious North Yorkshire lies the quaint market town of Thirsk. Here, the world's most famous vet, James Herriot, lived, worked and wrote his best-selling books. His former surgery and home are now a museum, but his practice lives on nearby.
Good morning, Skeldale Veterinary Centre.
The practice is the original Herriot practice, and that brings with it a certain feeling of responsibility that we're carrying on that Herriot tradition, treating animals of all types and sizes.
Julian Norton is the Yorkshire Vet.
Coming to work in the morning, we're never quite sure what's going to happen, and it's a great place to work. I think it's the best job in the world.
Julian runs the practice alongside partner and former Herriot trainee, Peter Wright.
There's no better sight anywhere. I've been doing it for 35 years now and I still never get bored of it. It's what it's all about, really.
Here, together with Skeldale's dedicated team,
She's the first one.
they treat animals of all shapes,
Oh, you've got it, well done.
sizes, types
Oh, crikey, get off me.
and temperaments.
Don't you bite, you dog.
It's definitely not glamorous, but it's varied.
Well, it shouldn't be there.
Didn't every day get a chance to cuddle an emu, is it?
It's rarely easy as the Yorkshire Vet carries on the Herriot tradition, treating all creatures, great and small. Winter has taken hold of the dales. Icy frosts sharpen the landscape. Life will get colder, the ground more crisp, and each day harder for the animals of the moors. If only they could talk, as James Herriot once said. A sentiment certainly shared by Julian.
So we're going to see a cow that is not eating, it's standing around, it's looking lethargic, and it's the description that we always dread, really, a cow with non-specific signs of illness, because that could be literally anything. It's like being a detective, being a vet. Obviously our patients can't tell us where it hurts or which bit feels peculiar, so a cow with non-specific illness can be one of the most problematic cases to get to the bottom of a diagnosis.
Julian must gather all the information he can if he's to identify the problem.
Because he's got osteoporosis, you said, hasn't he?
The poorly patient's name is Sally.
The good thing with South Africa is very easy to manage because they're so calm, aren't they, and gentle, these cows.
Yeah, she's gentle anyway, but obviously she's really more gentle today than what she normally is.
Armed with nothing more technical than a stethoscope, can Julian find the cause of Sally's complication?
This is just, you don't get to hear that sound very often, but it's a brilliant sound if you're looking to find the problem, because there's within the heart sac where the heart's beating, the heart beats with a booming sound, and there's a gurgling, fluidy, bubbling noise around the heart, which is diagnostic of pericarditis.
Pericarditis is a swelling of the fluid-filled sac surrounding the heart, and it can be fatal.
Longer term consequences is that this cow eventually will end up with heart failure if we don't get it fixed pretty quickly. Normally it's caused by cows that accidentally swallow something metal. If you get a piece of barbed wire got mixed in with feed.
Yeah, that sounds what it's more like.
Yeah, and what I'm thinking is that there's a piece of metal sticking from its stomach into its heart. So what my plan is to go in and then reach all the way to there, where its heart is, and pull it out.
Will it live then, do you think, or not?
It's got a better chance of living if we take it out than if we leave it there.
Oh, we'll best have it out then.
As metal isn't part of a cow's normal 5 a day, Farmer John's a bit baffled.
It is very surprised. I don't know what she's picked up. Whether she's picked something from the silage bale that's been raked off the ground for some reason, I don't know. Be interesting to see what it is if he gets it out. Because I don't know.
With Sally's life on the line, Julian must act fast.
And you can see she's not feeling this at all because it's been numbed.
Despite being anaesthetised,
Are you alright, Jess? I'm alright, yeah.
Julian must be careful not to scare Sally.
Can't go anywhere.
Back at Skeldale, something's caught Peter's attention.
So what I forgot today, Peter?
Oh, look at that board.
Wow, yeah,
Dog
look at it.
castrate, cat castrate, dog castrate, cat castrate, cat castrate. It's all testicles this morning, isn't it? All testicles. Just have to crack on, won't we?
Bad.
The first testicles have arrived.
Sometimes a working day can be a bit samey.
And a fine pair they are as well.
Cheep, cheep. Cheep, cheep.
But now and again, the team can be thrown a curveball.
This is Dave the emu. They're great. They're funny. They play like children. They do literally play like children. They run around, roll over. Oh, yeah.
Until recently, owner Steve had 3 emus.
Cheep, cheep.
After being attacked by a dog, Dave was the only survivor.
He was obviously a bit distressed for the first few hours. I've sat with him all night, but he's brightened up a bit now. But I'm just worried about his eyesight, basically.
This is a bit different.
I heard it's your first one.
Well, not my first emu, but not one, I haven't seen one for a year or two. Come through.
And this is Dave.
It's called Dave, is it?
Yeah, he's named after my best friend who died a month ago.
Oh.
Suddenly, 57 years old. So the first year that came out, I called him Dave.
It's a nice thought. When did this fella hatch?
Well, just over a fortnight ago.
Fortnight, yeah, yeah.
But he was the last one out. He was the smallest. The other two were enormous. They were head and shoulders above him. But they come out like bombshells.
Really?
They're not sedate like a chicken.
Yeah.
You know, nibbles a hole in, neat hole in the end and pops out. These like just blow the way out.
Sounds quite violent, really.
It does. It just like shooting a bullet out with a gun. Frightened me. I was stood next to it. I wasn't expecting it. I'm just a bit worried about his eyesight. Both eyes were shut initially.
Yeah.
That one's now opened, but that's what I'm a bit worried about.
Yeah,
Down
let's
there.
have a look. Yeah. Yeah, it's
So-
quite swollen, I think.
Yeah.
Certainly. Dave, steady on me, old mate. Steady on me, old mate. I think that eye's intact. Would you mind just holding him while...
Yeah, you don't want to be an old, yeah. You're all right, you're all right, you're all right.
I think what's happened, I think there's a tooth gone.
Yeah, it's on his head, isn't it? There.
There, that's where it's...
Yeah, it's squashed and it's popped that side.
It has, it's just... It has suppressed his skull a little bit there. I'm going to take a little bit of a gamble. I'm going to give you some drops with steroid in, which will take the inflammation down quicker than just a straight antibiotic drop. Now, when I say I take a gamble, as far as I can see, the eye itself's intact. There's no damage to the cornea.
Yeah.
If there was, if it starts to go cloudy at all or look worse, come straight back.
Yeah.
It's been a lucky escape for Dave. But owner Steve can rest easy, now his emu's in safe hands.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it isn't every day you get a chance to cuddle an emu, is it? Eh? I'm a little bit worried about that skull, but I think if he was going to die, I think it would have happened over the last 12 hours, so I think with a bit of luck, we might be all right. And I think that eye's going to go down okay. I think it's going to go down. Isn't it, Dave? Eh? It's going to go down. Yeah.
Earlier, the Yorkshire Vet was called out to see Sally.
There's a gurgling, fluidy, bubbling noise around the heart, which is diagnostic of pericarditis.
Having come up with a theory,
Normally, it's caused by cows that accidentally swallow something metal.
Julian began surgery.
Are you all right, Jess? I'm all right, yeah. And that's me inside its stomach. Well, that shouldn't be there.
What is it?
It looks like my carving rope.
Oh, we've been missing an altar like that. Did you leave the altar in this cabin?
Don't blame it on me, it's not my
What the
fault.
hell is that?
It looks like something that's very much material. So whether that's been causing the problem, I don't know at the moment. I'll need to go back in and see if there's
Have you ever
anything
found
else.
anything like that in a cow before?
I've never seen anything like that in a cow's stomach before. We'll leave it there for now.
Though not part of a cow's usual diet, the rope may not be Sally's only problem.
Right, no, here we are.
Something else?
Yes, not something else.
At last, Julian gets to the point.
That. Whoa! Joking.
How's it got that inside it?
There's no wonder that's gone a long way in, because that's really quite pointy. It's a bit like a lucky dip this evening. We've taken a rope of some description out of the cow's stomach, and most significantly, this great big 4-inch nail, is it?
Yeah, quite a new one.
It was right where I was expecting it to be, and sticking into the heart. So I'm really hopeful that that's the cause of the problems. Now, I've done this operation a few times before, but to find something as enormous as this, it's a once in a lifetime, I think, for me.
Bloody hell, Stevie.
Use that one.
Hey, use that one again.
Yorkshire farmers.
How's it got that then?
Despite removing the nail, Julian must consider further complications.
The problem is she's still got pericarditis,
Right.
which is a pretty bad thing to have. So that won't just get better miraculously now we've taken that out. She's
Yeah.
still not out of the woods by any means.
You're a silly old thing, aren't you? What's to do with you?
And to add to the drama, there's another surprise.
She's pregnant as this cow, and I can feel a uterus from this hole, and I can feel a little calf inside the uterus bobbing around. This operation is definitely to save mum and baby.
But yeah, if we hadn't done anything at all, we'd have lost both of them.
With her baby safely tucked back in,
That's pretty neat, isn't it, Steve?
Julian finishes up, leaving behind a pair of admiring clients.
He knew what he was looking for before he stuck his hand down its hole, which I thought was quite clever.
Well, it is just by listening by that. Brand new nail and all, isn't it?
Brand new, not even being bent.
It couldn't have been in a worse place. So the poor cow was in a lot of pain and really perilously close to death. And even having removed it, she's still not out of the woods. There's still a lot of healing to go and quite a lot of problems that still need to be overcome. So it's still a bit touch and go as to whether she'll make it through. But yeah, I mean, you can't believe it, can you? A nail of that size sticking into that part of the body. Quite amazing.
At Skeldale, a familiar face is back for a checkup.
Have a look. Isn't he gorgeous? Because you always think of emus as being massive, black and white, don't you?
Well, they've got to about 6 foot tall, haven't they?
You'll have to
Have
have
a
a bigger
single-
basket when you bring him in.
Oh,
then.
yeah, I think they'll be walking me in, I think.
You'll have to have a collar and lead, Dave.
It's still got a bit of skin. It's a bit worrying. It didn't go right the way back. It did dry
No.
up. I did put the drops in, obviously.
Yeah.
But it did dry out eventually, and it seemed quite hard, didn't it?
It is.
I didn't want to hurt his eye underneath, obviously, but all right.
I might have to try and remove that eyelid because it's dying off.
Yeah, it's gone hard, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I think I might have to try and do something with that.
Yeah.
It's bad news for Dave. Surgery can be a risky business for small animals.
Seeing Dave again now, I'm a bit disappointed really. That eyelid isn't doing very well at all. It's basically died off. I'm going to try and remove that eyelid and see if we can save his eye. So that's where we're going now. So it's disappointing really.
As Peter gets Dave ready for his op, Julian's been called to an emergency.
Oh, it's in there, is it?
Yeah.
Excellent. Just don't let it escape, will you?
Basically, we got up this morning, she just a lump hanging out at the back of her, and we knew there was something wrong, so we brought her down here for Julian to have a look at and hopefully put right.
It looks like it's a rectal prolapse rather than a vaginal prolapse. First job, I'll put an epidural in which numbs the area, and that'll allow us to put it back in properly. It's clearly a rectal prolapse and needs to be corrected fairly quickly because the bowel itself starts to die, it goes purple and then it goes black and then it perforates, so it's curtains at that point. So the priority really at this stage is to get it back in as quickly as we can and as carefully as we can because the tissue is quite delicate. This purple bit is part of her intestines that should be inside, and it's gone inside itself like a bit like a telescope. She's tried to pass it basically, so she's pushed and pushed. It's popped out, so we're giving her an epidural to stop her from straining, but the urge is quite strong still to push. And that will still be the case until we've got it in.
As Julian prepares to pop the posterior back.
Hello, Dave. How my old friend? Hey?
Inside,
How are you doing?
Dave's operation's about to begin.
Good lad. Let's have a look at you. Just steady on. You don't need to panic. Don't. What a little cutie, aren't you? There we are. Now look. Now you can put your feet down. That's it. You're getting quite strong, isn't he? My plan is to try and remove all that dead tissue. It's difficult to visualise his eye underneath, so we'll have a bit better look at his eye when we get all that dead tissue off. I'm just hoping that we can get away without removing his eye. Right, so we'll try and get him knocked out, Rach. It isn't every day you have an emu on the table, let alone a baby emu, so slightly apprehensive. Anaesthetic's the dangerous bit because with any baby the anaesthetic risk is so much greater, whether it's a bird or whatever. So it's something that has to be watched pretty carefully. Okay, Rach. There's always a lot of pressure on whenever you're working on any animal. Pets are very dear to people, and Dave is no exception. I could tell how distraught his owner was when this bird got attacked, how much it meant to him. You could see it was written all over his face. We've taken the tissue off now. I'm tempting fate now, but this seems to be going remarkably well so far. Yeah, a little bit of damage there on the surface of the eye. It's damaged the cornea as well, which we weren't able to see before. That's torn down there, Rach. I'm just concerned because this corner of his eye, the tissue's torn there, probably with the initial trauma. So I'm just going to pop a stitch in the corner of that eye. Just not quite happy with it yet.
Peter must proceed with pinpoint precision, or risk causing further damage to Dave's eye.
I think it's fair to say with a chap like Dave, he's much more manageable now than he will be in 6 months' time. So I suppose if we're going to get a horrible injury like this, from a veterinary perspective, it's much easier.
Let's put it together a lot.
That's better, isn't it? Right, now you're looking like a proper emu. The problem now is the owner's going to have to put antibiotic drops in and some of the stuff to help the ulcer heal. So we're not out of the woods yet. You know, if this ulcer deepens, then we can still be in trouble. You know, the eye could rupture. So that's our next step now, to get this ulcer healed. But we've taken a big step forward today. And in Dave's case, soon, a big step will mean a big step, won't it?
Back in the car park, the pressure's building.
Good way to start a week. Gotta make sure I keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
So sort of what happens is you think you're getting nowhere and then suddenly it just pops back in. Oh, God. Oh, you're definitely at the right end, you two. It's back in now. Look at that.
Oh, spot on.
It's making your eyes bulge, isn't it, old girl? So you can see once it's back in, there's a lot less urge to push and strain, so that's a good sign. Right, so what we'll need to do now is I'll put some stitches around there to keep it in place. Just goes all the way around the anus, and again she won't feel this because she's had the epidural, so that's why she's not reacting at all. So the next thing to do is to tie this in such a way that it's tight enough that she can manage to go to the toilet, but not tight enough that it pops out again. That's perfect, that is actually. Excellent. Spot on, thanks.
Cheers, thank you very much.
I'll just, you can pop back in, I'll just get a jab for her.
As soon as he's got things all sewn up, his client sheepishly escapes. Still to come,
I'm coming, Pete. Give us your tail, mate.
Peter visits one of his oldest friends.
Right across the beat here.
Head nurse Sarah meets a bird behaving badly, and Julian teams up with Peter to castrate a donkey.
Not the biggest testicle.
We don't need big testicles.
As Yorkshire glistens in winter's icy grip, life's vibrance shines through in the characters of Mother Nature. And Peter's off to see two of his own favourite characters,
Oh, come on, my little sugar plum.
Steve and Jeanie Green.
Well, Steve and Jean are the old type of character. Steve's 86 and Jean's 65. They won't mind me telling you that. And they are colourful characters, and we're lacking in that type of person these days.
Last year, Peter helped guide the Greens through one of their toughest challenges.
Oh, them cows like loving kids. But that's the end of the matter.
After Steve took ill, they were forced to sell their much-loved dairy herd.
I'm very heartbroken, really. But you see, it might be a bit much for me in winter.
Bye, giraffe. Bye, sprocket, bad bobtail. Oh, it was heartbreaking. I'd never shed so many tears. I couldn't even sleep at night. We're still dreaming about them today. Bye, girls. I get tears, but what can you do about it? That's life. Cows you can replace, but you can't replace a human life at any point. And I can feel it yet coming. It just breaks my heart to think about them and where they've gone and what's happening to them. Hiya, son.
As vet and friend, Peter was on hand in Jean's darkest hour.
I'm glad you've come.
I felt as if I had to come if I could, because these cows were Steve and Jeannie's life, really. I just came to support her, and I think that's what matters.
The prospect of a farm without cows was too much to bear for the Greens. They found themselves unable to let go completely.
Come on, Rhubarb! Rhubarb and custard.
Oh, we have some young stock, yes. They're easy to handle and no milk, you know.
You're beautiful, aren't you? Your English cheddar gorgeous, aren't you?
It's one of these calves that Peter's here to see today. But not before catching up with his old chum, Jean.
Are you in, Mrs. Green?
Oh, hi, Peter.
Have a come at dinner time.
No, will you be quiet?
There's never a dull moment when I come to Steve and Jeannie's. Never a dull moment. In fact, I never quite know what's coming next.
How's your fleas and your knobbly knees, Peter?
Well, just the same as usual, really, Jean.
Oh, yeah.
They're never getting...
There are now only a handful of calves on the farm.
Watch the shit and don't go down. Keep your feet up.
and some are as characterful as Jean.
We stand there a second.
Right.
You get an ass grabber. He lift your ass. I used to tell him, you don't touch what you can't afford.
I don't look like my bottom, Jean. They're not paying any attention. No, I obviously don't smell right.
Peter's patient Romeo's having trouble with his knee. That's not stopping him giving Peter the runaround.
We're all right.
I'm coming, Pete.
It's all right. Jane, I've got it.
Romeo.
I've got it. Right.
Animal caught, Peter gets on with the examination.
Give us your tail weight.
But Jean carries out an assessment of her own.
Right across the beat here.
As it's growing, Jean, it's growing quicker on the inside of the bone than on the outside.
Yeah.
It has been damaged at some time. It's damaged the growth plate there. And instead of it growing evenly, it's growing more on the inside of the bone than on the outside of the bone.
So what's to do?
Well, nothing. It will do reasonably okay. It'll always have a slight deviation out over. On deep straw like you've got here, it won't take any fault at all. It'll struggle a bit more when it goes on concrete.
It's back to business as usual on the Greens farm, and Peter's happy to catch up with his old friends.
You're looking well, Steve. You're looking...
I am.
You are, aye. I think stopping milking cows, you know, is a good thing. I do. I think it was getting a bit much.
I've known Pete since 1982, since he was the first come out of college. I went to work for Alf White. Yeah, Peter, Happy New Year to your son.
Jean, you're always generous, but this is beyond generosity.
Well, you're welcome to it, aren't you?
Well, you ruined me.
Well, that don't ruin you, nobody else will that.
You're right there. You don't drink alcohol.
I like a bit of Baileys.
Do you?
Yeah. He's got a bottle of champagne today, and I'll always spoil him. I've always spoiled that lad. From day one coming here. He's fantastic. Bye, Peter. Bye. See you again.
Back at base, head nurse Sarah's had an unusual delivery.
Right, so we just had a client brought this little bird in. His daughter's found it where she lives. It is a bird of prey of some description. So I'm just gonna grab it out of the box and have a look, and we can determine what bird we've got in here as well.
Sarah must take care.
Hello, darling.
Not to frighten the bird.
I think it's along the lines of a sparrowhawk. There we go. Beautiful bird. If you can see, the claws on these birds are extremely sharp, and they will just penetrate straight through anybody's skin. There we go. Right, I don't think there's a lot wrong with this bird. I have a feeling it has just plain and simply flown into a window or a door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep him in the quiet and in the dark for a couple of hours, just let him come to terms with hitting whatever he's hit, and then I'll take him back off myself later on, and we'll let him out and see how he goes. Right, so I'll just put this little fella into isolation where we can turn the lights off and keep him as quiet as we can.
Rebecca Ducker has a farm.
Morning, Zebedee.
And on that farm, she has a donkey.
This is Zebedee, and he's called Zebedee because he has beautiful zebra-like stripes on his legs in the summer. There's a good boy. Such a little boy, caused so much problem. Today, Zebedee is going to be gelded, castrated. Look, just don't frighten. It's all right. Just let go.
To prepare for the castration, Rebecca and her husband must give Zebedee a tranquilizer.
What you have to do is stuff it in there, so...
Yeah, you load each one into a bit of bread.
But it's in there.
I miss my calling in life, tranquilising donkeys.
Stubborn or stupid, this donkey's having none of it.
Nice.
Trust me, this is all for your own good, mate. You wouldn't want to go through what you're going through if you weren't tranquilised.
They're not used to sweetie things too much, so Peter said give him a honey sandwich or something with some peanut butter or something with the tablet in, and really. So how many has he had then?
I'd say he's had 4 now. That's the best we're going to do. The vet's going to have to take his own chances now.
Carrying out today's castration is not one, but a pair of vets. Namely, Peter.
Well, it's a nice day.
Isn't it? It's lovely. Nice to see you.
Nice day to have some testicles removed, isn't it?
And Julian.
Have we got the required number?
Everything's there, yeah.
Go on.
Not the biggest testicles.
It's little by nature, this one.
We don't need big testicles.
No, they'll come off the tree, I think.
All right, Zeb. Bum round. Bum in the corner, please, Zeb.
Good. Donkey's called Zebedee. You don't expect he's because they do a lot of jumping around.
With Zeb and with entire horses, donkeys, they can become quite unmanageable. When the testosterone starts to flow, the male sex hormone can make them more aggressive. It can give them the urge to do what comes naturally, and that in itself can be quite dangerous. There's a good boy.
Testosterone is a problem for all alpha males. As demonstrated the last time Peter and Julian worked together.
When it comes to the time when the stitches come out, we can see whose side of the cow looks neatest.
No competition. It's as good as in the bag.
On that occasion, Julian came out on top.
It's great operating with Peter because he makes my work look even neater than it is already.
Don't like the look of you, does he?
It doesn't, no.
When I'm working with Julian, it's usually because we've got something with potentially that's a little bit more tricky, because you sometimes need someone with experience to know when things are going to go pear-shaped. If things go wrong, then you need to be half a step ahead. Is he happy?
Well, I wouldn't say he's happy, but he's anaesthetised.
It just comes with practice and experience, and he's getting there slowly. I think another 10 years we'll have the finished article, but we'll keep working on him.
So I suppose this is probably the most dangerous part, is it, of the procedure? Because if he's not quite asleep enough, then that foot can recoil back and hit Pete in the head, which is a bit of a risk. But he's all right so far, is he?
So far, things are good.
Have you ever eaten a testicle?
What?
Have you ever eaten a testicle?
I have not.
I've only eaten them once. And
did you?
I was castrating some bulls and they just looked reasonably appetising. The problem was I ate them with new potatoes and cauliflower, and it wasn't the best combination of.
Doesn't sound it at all. Dear, dear.
Massive procedure almost over.
Oh, good. Is that one of the testicles there?
Yeah.
Is there another one?
Yeah, we've got the 2, yeah.
That's it, not much is it really?
Oh my goodness.
It'll take a short while for his hormone levels to drop back down to basal levels, but it'll be very manageable now, and that's the whole reason for doing it. He can have a pleasant life now and not worry about what his testicles were put there for. I don't think it's nice for him to see his testicles when he comes round, is it? They're right in front of his nose. That's taking the mickey, that's pushing it a bit too far. He'll have a much happier life. Living in North Yorkshire, what could he have any better? It's absolutely idyllic. When we look at his views over there, he's got much more important things to consider rather than sexual activity.
Oh, hello.
Not sure Mum agrees with you, Peter.
That was a bit pitiful, Zeb.
Mom, what have they done to me?
As the North Yorkshire dales and moors snooze under an icy blanket, life slows down for its inhabitants. Back at Skeldale, it's the same story. But in theatre, there's no time to rest. Jess is a 12-year-old Jack Russell Cross who's been brought in for surgery.
Jess has a very large tumour in her abdomen, which is putting a lot of pressure on her. And it's basically a tumour that she's not going to be able to really live with. But she's also an old dog and not great condition. So an anaesthetic is risky. But given the choice of putting her to sleep or trying. The owners decided to try.
It's the first time Jess has been to Skeldale. The odds of surviving this operation are slim. Just seconds in, Jess has gone into sudden cardiac arrest.
Just it right here.
As the team performs CPR, Peter gives a shot of adrenaline.
Coming back, the heartbeat's getting stronger. She's breathing on her own now.
The team successfully resuscitate Jess, but her life balances on a knife edge.
She's not coping with her anaesthetic at all, and obviously we can't do surgery without having her under. Priority right now is bringing her back, which she's obliging us with. Hopefully she'll continue. And then we'll need to figure out what to do next.
On again. Have you got any more adrenaline?
Yeah, coming.
Gone. I think you'll have to go that straight into the heart.
There's a pulse again. Yeah, it's getting stronger.
Stabilising.
No, it's not stable, but at least there's a heartbeat.
Having gone into cardiac arrest twice, the team have a difficult decision to make. Carry on or put her to sleep.
If we had seen it 2 weeks ago, we could have had a chance. But if she can't cope with the anaesthetic.
Have you spoken to the owners again now?
I told them we could lose her, but I said it's not to not do anything is not really a realistic option with her well-being in mind.
I don't see there's anything to lose. If you're going to put her to sleep otherwise, then we may as well try and take it out, and if she doesn't make it, she doesn't make it.
Despite the odds being stacked against them,
If we're going to do it, we need to do it really quickly.
the Yorkshire Vet decides he's not giving up without a fight.
It's going to be pretty touch and go, but I think the best chance is if we can get this out as quickly as possible and get her around and recovered. I think the consensus is that the chances are fairly low, but we're going to give it a go and see what we can do. Because once we've got into the abdomen, if it's going to be removable, then we can get the mass out, and that will immediately relieve what pressure is on the lungs.
She's stable?
Sort of. Not really, not that stable, but that's a kidney there. It's under there, look. I wonder if we're going to get that out. Does that help the breathing in any way?
Yeah, she's absolutely levelled. I'm really pleased. The colour's come back so much better since you've opened it up.
Yeah, I thought it would take a lot of the pressure off.
Pressure off, yeah.
With Jess showing signs of improvement, it's encouraging.
Oh, God. I think it's probably a big necrotic tumour around the... Oh, there we are, look, it's a big tumour around the back of the kidney. Let's not keep going, so I don't think there's any point. Yeah, there's no coming back from this, I don't think.
Despite a brave fight and a gallant attempt from the team, it's the end of the line for Jess.
It's difficult, even a dog that you just meet for the first time, you know, and you want to do the best by them. You always want to help, and any dog dying or any animal dying under our watch, it's difficult. So the only thing we can do now is they want ashes to cremate, so we'll get her sorted out, we'll take care of her one last time and get the owner some ashes, and then they'll have those to remember Jess by, so they'll at least have something.